Hi guys, welcome back to my tutorial to learn bot framework using Python language. This tutorial I'm going to focus on state management. What is state management, how to use it, how to implement that one, I'm going to explain. Just recap, bot framework is a web application, it's a stateless application. To maintain the state, we have to write our logic, how we are going to maintain based on our conversation. Boss provided two options to maintain the state. First one is a conversation state. Second one is a user state. Conversation state, conversation state, track the current conversation. Track the current conversation or current position. Current position. User state to store the user data. User state to store the to to store the user data. So our conversation state, user state is this ready. Where to store it? We have to store it no somewhere. We are we have to store in the DB or in the memory. For this tutorial, I'm going to use that memory storage only. For that time, memory storage, I just mentioned it. Memory storage we are going to use. Okay, I will take one simple example. I'm going to get the username, email ID, phone number to track where our cursor, where our position that is in the conversation state. Once user enter the name, let's say for example, if you ask the name, they given the name is example. So this name store into the user state. Once the user provide the data, we have to move the next conversation. So first conversation will move here, conversation move to here, conversation state, and again like email ID. If user providing this one email ID, it will store into the user state. Like that flow it will go. Okay. To maintain the to store the user information, we create separate class called user profile. Will create and maintain the conversation. We'll create separate class for constate. Okay. Next thing, how to access this one. I created the memory. This is my class. How we have to link conversation state to our class. For that, we have to create one property. I'll go like this way. Conversation state. We have to create one property. Let's say we call this conprop. Through this property, we have to store that. Sorry, we have to read the data. Like that, user state. We have to create user prop and we have to access this class. What this property will do, this property, if you are first time you are going to access this, you're going to check whether this our class is available or not in the conversation state. If the class is not available, this property will create and store it, will create into the conversation state like that user profile, user state also. Once everything done, we have to store this conversation state, not the property. Property only used for the get or read. For that purpose only we have to use it. For writing or saving, we have to use conversation state only. Just open Visual Studio. Here you can see I created one class called, to maintain the conversation, I created one class called constate. To store the user information, I created one class called user profile. This is under the data model. Done. Next thing is our main bot. Here we are going to write the logic to track and to save the data. Let's start. First I have to import core, import turn context and activity handler, class called statebot derived from activity handler, constructor. The constructor I'm going to pass the conversation state, user state, memory, where I'm going to store. This memory storage I will pass while loading the bot. That means I'll pass it here while creating the object for this state bot. I will pass it here which memory location I have to store it, whether DB or memory location. This also available in core. One second. Activity handler, conversation state, and user state. User state. So I am passing con state, this conversation state, user state, user state. So I just store this data in my member property. So con state self user state, store it. So this is done. We decided the memory. We'll come to here. To store and retrieve data, we need one property. Correct. We'll create the property now. Self dot con prop, create this property in the conversation state. Create property. This is the single argument, that's key, unique key. Like that, user prop self dot user state dot create property. It's called user state. Fine. This is done. Next, we'll override the on message handler, message activity, self context, turn context. Okay. So first time it's hit, user send message, hi, something like that. This function get invoked. This is the activity type message. Once invoked, first we have to check conversation state. What is our current position? It's invoked. We have to check this conversation state. What is our current position? If the application initially started, current position, our example, we are starting from name. So our current position is a name. How to check it? Through this property. So we have to use this property to read or get the data, get our class in the conversation state. I'm writing that conversation mode with self dot con property dot get. Pass the turn context the first argument. Turn context. Next we have to pass the class. So which class we are using? So we are using the con state. That's class available in the data model. This one. So first we have to import this class in our application. Data model import con state, hey, con state, next user's profile and enum. So here we are passing the con state. So we have to check our memory con mode dot profile enum user name. Here first we initialize with the name. So default profile is the name. Here we are checking if it is name, then send this information to the user. Please enter the name. So we are name. So we are raise the question to the user, enter the name. So next this is our job. What next we should ask? Whether email ID or phone number. That's up to you. So con mode profile, you're telling next you should ask phone number. To check if con mode dot profile phone number, raise the question to the user, turn contacts dot send activity, please enter your phone number. So once it's done, we have to move to next conversation. Next conversation would ask email. So elif con mode dot profile email, all done. Con mode profile profile. So I am done. So done. Everything done. Okay. Next, we have to store the user profile information. Okay. We'll see. Now it will come here name. So conversation state will come name. We are raising question to the user. Store it and it's come out fine. So once user respond, again it will come here. This time it will check the conversation mode. Conversation mode we set as a phone number. So it will arrive here. Here we have to read the user input, what they given. I'll write it. Now user mode, wait, self dot user prop, dot get, turn user profile. So here we have to store it. User mode activity text. So like that, change to phone number, we'll get it here. So email set it, phone number we'll get it here. Phone number, email mode we'll get this one. We have to raise a question that I not done it. Please enter your email ID. So done. Finally, elif conmode dot profile profile equal to enum user dot done, then user mode dot email equal to turn context dot activity dot text. That's it. So in the done method, we just inform to the user what are information they given to bot, just for understanding whether this is stored or not in the user profile. That's it. So done info user mode dot name plus user mode dot phone number user mode dot email. What is it? Yeah, why is not coming? We'll check it. Email. So far we only read part only we done. We not saved. For saving, what we are going to do, we are just overwriting again, overwriting the on turn contacts method. All this main functions. So using const state, we'll have to store it. So const state dot save changes for the turn contacts with method. So same way we have to store in the user profile also. That's it. One second, yeah, sorry. Done info. Save. Now go to main application, this app. Here we have to pass the memory location. As I said earlier, we are going to store the local memory only. That we need memory storage. So conversation state, user state, memory storage. Define const state equal to memory storage. Mem store, create like this, so we can reuse it. Conversation state, mem store, like that. User state, mem store. That's it. Pass this one. Const state and user state. That's it. Here we are calling that. Fine. Everything fine. Now run the start the application. Run the bot application, bot emulator. It's loading. Yeah, run. Okay. Now if you just send a message hi, this time we'll ask the name. So first conversation name, next phone number. Go back to the main application. So we stored in the phone number. This time will phone number will, that prompt will pop up. Then email ID. Finally, you see whatever user enter, we are displaying. Finally, we are displaying here. We are not reset. If I send a message, if I send this message hi, it will display this message only. Okay, because now we are stored in the done only. We are not moving to the next conversation. So it will come here, done. Email ID only we are overwriting. It will overwrite the email property. Then it's displaying here. Once conversation done, you have to reset it. So it will start from the beginning. If I set here con mode profile, this state like here, if I write the code con mode dot profile enum user dot name, conversations start from the beginning. So once conversation, the best practice is one conversation done, please reset it. Okay. I hope you can understand the conversation state and user state and memory profile, memory storage. Thanks to all.